45-degree angle until I feel it with my thumb right down here. So the angle, you can localize it just by side bending. So I can go all the way down to C7 with this and just do this little compression. And here about on number 4 I started getting movement. She doesn't have much of a problem down here. Now, the thoracics. Everybody's wearing their shoulders like this, so all the interscapular ribs. Let me find one. Need a different palpator. I want you to examine this pair right here and tell me which side is harder. Right or left?
Left.
Okay. Treat the left. No, don't go anywhere. You put your finger there first. And I put one on top. Now, watch this. I'm going to get 3 or 4 different vectors balanced on the head of the pin. I'm going to do it by trapping with the boulder surface of my arm or shoulder and leaning my body weight into it. I'm going to translate it just until we feel it with our finger right there. Okay, now I'm going to maintain that. Now I'm going to take my hand on her other shoulder and pull at an angle until we feel it pop out of the finger, right? Now I'm going to lean my rib cage against her again until we feel a third vector. And we can add a fourth. Take a big inhalation, exhale, and at some point hits our finger, stop, hold it right there. Now I'm just going to bounce against the restricted barrier. I don't bash into it, I don't bash through it, I bounce off of it. There's the barrier, go to the left. There's the barrier. So I have to keep all 3 of these vectors brief when necessary. Take it to the same spot in respiration, hold your breath. So I've got 4 different vectors. The more vectors you can get, the faster it works. It's already softening. Your fingers already starting to sink interiorly into the tissues. Okay? And what's really weird is when you feel the transverse process just move anteriorly away from you without any pressure on you at all. This is the last iteration. This is what Still and Littlejohn together came up with. Karen calls this the dance. And she's got a wonderful set of slides. This is a 2.5-day course for the whole body. Now I could carry this on a little further, but we're going to stop for the second half. You re-examine just as you did originally, and let's just see how much difference.
Well, it's quite different.
Don't talk to me.
It's quite different, everyone. Yeah, it was good. You could really, really feel it.
The tension just melts under your finger like butter that's gotten hot. So we're starting with a stick of cold butter. Maybe the first 4 or 5 times we bounce off the barrier, and then all of a sudden you start feeling motion, and then suddenly it begins to melt, and your thumb begins to sink in. Okay.
So what were the directions? You compress down, you compress.
The key is you're going to take whatever angle it takes until you feel, whenever you apply pressure to the shoulder, this one or this one, you feel it right at your palpating finger. There's no pressure being applied here. There's just monitoring. So I'm going not at a 45-degree angle because that would put me down here. It's almost like a translatory motion toward the right. But I capture her left shoulder between my rib cage and the boulder surface of my left arm. I lean into this and I translate her just until I feel the motion. Now I'm going to pull the opposite shoulder with my hand toward my finger until I feel the second vector. Then I'm going to lean my rib cage against her rib cage until I feel the third vector. And then if you want to, you can add the respiratory point where either in inhalation or partial exhalation. You feel it right at your fingers. And then you start bouncing off of the restricted barrier. So we've replaced that windmill articulatory activation of the first generation with this, much more sophisticated, much easier to do, much less difficult for the operator to accomplish. And the results are absolutely superb. And I can go all the way down. All I have to do is simply put more weight down to get these localized clear to the upper lumbar spine. I'm not going to show you lumbar, I'm not going to show you pelvis, I'm not going to show you extremities. I'm not going to show you all of this. I'm just going to give you a taste map so that you